Good night, everybody. Good night. It's a late one tonight. How are we all? Thank you very much for joining us on this late night stream. Late night, 8 o'clock. It's late for me. Normally, I am wrestling a 7-year-old that doesn't want to go to bed for probably about the next hour. So I thought instead of doing that, let's hang out with you guys instead. Really appreciate you all being here. This series always designed to sort of unearth the people behind the industry, people behind their YouTube channels, people behind the local fish stores and whatnot. And I've had the pleasure of actually working with Boaz a few times. So I said to him, after we've finished this aquascaping series, let's sit down and let's have a chat so everyone gets to know you. And I also left the door open. One sec. I've got the series playing behind me there. So the series in all is 5 episodes on basically starting to try and aquascape your first fish tank. If it's not your first aquascape, hopefully there's some tricks and tips in there as well. But also if you're like me, who has now done 1 or 2 with the help of others, it's always very interesting to watch and just see a creation come to life. So before we jump into that, I do just want to say hello, Blake's Aquatics. First in, first best dressed. Probably not. You're probably wearing that Blake's Aquatics jumper again, aren't you? Thirsty Rabbit, how are you? Good to see you here. Bendigo Balaclava, how you going? Craig, you've been to most of the streams lately. Thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate it. Blake Howden, another great supporter. Thank you. Fisher Tanks and Aquariums, you made it. Fisher sent me a message saying that they missed our stream on Sunday, which was a bit of fun with Dr. Black and Blake. Maddie D, same thing, always here. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, for all of you, if you've got questions for Boaz throughout the night, just let us know. Type them in, and I'll make sure I ask him. But if you haven't seen the Aquascaping with Boaz series, then this might remind you. How cool is that intro? I love that intro. Any chance to be able to do that again. And if you haven't seen it, this might remind you. That didn't make any sense. If you haven't seen it, this is what you're missing out on. If you have seen it but can't remember, that is what we're talking about. Also, how cool is it to be able to add videos in StreamYard? I mean, having a bit of a play today. So if I'm a bit all over the shop, it's probably because I'm trying to do more than I'm actually capable of. So without further ado, let's welcome Boaz and see how his night's going.
Hi, mate.
Boaz, my man, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That
Just
is
woke
good.
up from a quick nap.
A quick nap.
Yeah.
You should be so lucky. How are you napping at this time? What's your aim to be up all night now, is it?
Nah, like normally I do most of the fish orders, or like accounts at night while like my boys are asleep, and yeah, that's when you can actually do some things.
No, that's no rest for the wicked, I suppose, other than napping in the afternoon. So take us to the start here. So let's introduce you. You run a local fish store near about half an hour from where I live.
Yep.
You've moved location. You only moved up the door, so you've gone through a bit of change. So how long have you been running the New Life Studio or Studio H2O in Mitcham?
So we started as a New Life Aquarium. So it's more like a franchise shop, like a family business. So each uncle and auntie owns a shop. We have that for 5 years now, and past year and a half, we kind of like tried to do a bit more fancy stuff, more concentrated in aquascaping than we have a sub. Yep.
Oh, he sort of disappeared a bit for a second.
Yep.
Just while we wait to regain Boaz, I like red plants. I think you're the only person I saw in the chat that I didn't get to say hello to yet. Have we got you back?
Yep.
Yep, you just went a bit robotic for a little bit.
Oh, sorry, mate. Internet.
No, you're good. So you said it was a family business. So what's the history? Take us back to the beginning of why your family got into the hobby, or what you were surrounded by when you were growing up.
So I was actually born in Adelaide, and I moved back to Hong Kong when I was like 5. So pretty much I was stuck in between. I can't speak Chinese, Cantonese properly, and when I speak Chinese, I got like a really bad accent. So,
and if you're from South Australia, you probably can't speak English properly either. So I get it.
Yeah, mate. And then I was born in like a really rural area, so it's just literally rural. And then pretty much like I don't have much friends when I was a kid, so the whole weekend I'm just like spending my time with uncles or like people I know that will take me to like Mong Kok, which is the famous fish street in Hong Kong. And pretty much that's all started.
What's it called? Because I didn't know there was a famous fish street in Hong Kong.
Just search fish street in Hong Kong.
Fish Street?
Yeah.
In Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
We'll share this with our viewers. Fish Street store as a dealer. Hong Kong Aquarium Fish Street Market. What's it called? Tong Choi?
Tong Choi Street, maybe, yeah. But it's just crazy. Literally, the whole street is just like aquarium shops.
Holy Moses. All right, 1 second. You guys have all got to see this. So let's go to share screen. Application. Go down the rabbit hole if you're all ready. Bang. There we go. We're going down the rabbit hole. Check this out. Okay, so you grew up around this sort of environment of selling fish. Is that right?
Yeah, where animal rights doesn't matter.
But they like those bags, don't they? Well, so what was it? Why were you around there? So obviously was it your uncle that was selling them, or?
My uncle do have a shop in Hong Kong for like more than like 30 plus years now. But but I'm just there. Like I'm just roaming free there when I was a kid. So you just walk between shops and look at fish, look at shrimps, look at whatever rare fish you can find there, and you just like, wow, as a kid, you're just fascinated. Like, wow, there's some fish look totally different, totally bizarre. And then I just fell in love with the hobby.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, isn't it? When you get introduced to fish keeping at a really young age, it starts to hold a lot of value. Like, not so much value, but it holds a lot more meaning, I think, as you grow up, that you don't want to leave it. It becomes part of you. Can you tell me, there's one thing I've always been curious about with these sort of stall setups.
Yep.
What do they do? Like, if you put 100 fish up on a wall in a bag, yep, cool, yep. They're there. That's how you're gonna try and sell them for the day. Do they then go back to another location, put them into a bigger tank and then bag them up again in the morning? Or do they stay in those bags until they're sold, like, or is it a week that they're in there, or what's the go?
No, some do. From memory, they repack most of them after a day or two. It's just like international shipping. Like sometimes the fish do stay in a bag for more than 24 hours, but most of the time they will clear the war within a couple of hours, and most of the time the fish is already like a new batch. Yeah, after a meal or something like that. It's quite crazy over there how things sells.
I find that absolutely weird because it's like, so you go out with 100 fish and then that many hobbyists are now going to go and buy those fish that for it to happen that quickly, it's a big thing over there. Maybe a bit different to, as obviously, in Australia that, I don't know, I haven't worked in an aquarium, but I walk into aquariums all the time and I see when they're busy and when they're not busy, and you sort of go, I reckon they might sell 30 orders a day. But if you've got 100 fish that they're confidently going to sell in a few hours.
Yep. I think the hobby, of course, the scale of the hobby is really, really, really different over in Hong Kong or Asia, because especially first is the feng shui thing, and the second is how cheap are the equipments and all the chemicals over there. So it's really just helping the industry or helping like people to start a fish tank, and especially with all older generation Asian will know like, oh, I have to have a fish tank at home, have to. And yeah, then the younger generation just like be pretty much just like, oh, I have to have a fish tank at home. When I grow up, when I have my own place, I have to have a fish tank. So people will have a fish tank most of the times.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Fishboy, welcome. Joe Coffee, how are you guys going? Thanks for joining us. Nathan is from South Australia. He came in just as I made that inappropriate South Australian joke, so I thought that was kind of funny. There's some good comments here. Blake Howden, it would be so overwhelming to choose a fish in that market. Like, you're like, all right, I'm going to get a couple of fish today, and then go, oh, holy crap. Like, which one do I choose?
Man, I'll tell you, and like customer service of like those shops aren't the best. And I still remember, even as a kid, when I was just like staring at those fishes there, just like, I'm not buying anything, I'm just browsing. And like the bosses would come out, even not buying anything, just like,
get out of here.
Yeah.
We've all felt like that with customers before.
Yep.
Nathan says with that amount of choices, you'd want to have a big amount of tanks set up. That's true. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, that doesn't go with that, so I'll set up another tank. Now, all right. So you grow up, you're running around these streets in these fish markets that I would love to visit one day and experience when all this crap blows over. What was it like at home then? Did you go home and did you have fish tanks around at home? Or was it purely like that was sort of the industry, but you weren't really keeping fish yet?
My dad had a fish tank. It's definitely the like ultimate community tank. I still remember like we have like African cichlids, we have coolie loaches, we have neon tetras, we have all like different fish in that tank, and they're actually all fine. And we haven't had any casualties from memory until we gave it like to our mates, and there's no casualty in the tank. But yeah, it just tells us like I didn't know anything about like the fish difference when I was a kid. We didn't care.
No, I think that's one that a lot of people, when they're starting out, they go with maybe some of the Africans and some of the, live bearers or tetras or something, and then, learn the hard way. Or, for example, one of the younger YouTubers down here in Australia, I'll have to introduce you to Bodgy one day. He has a Jack Dempsey in with Congo tetras and rainbows, and all like. It's just a weird combo, but it's apparently been working for him for years. Heavily planted tank.
Yeah, no, because I know a lot of like hardcore hobbyists might hate me saying this. Like, I'm not too against that, especially if that works for you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put like neon tetras or like cardinal tetras or some small fish with your discus, like or like even angelfish, some of them gonna be eaten anyway. If it works for you, it works. I mean, that's how you enjoy the hobby. Of course, like then some people might say, "Oh, the pH might be different," but I can tell you, most of the captive bred stuff overseas, especially when they're import, most of the time all the water is linked in the farm. They're not specifically setting the pH to where the fish is caught from. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's breeding.
I think you're sort of right. There's a bit of a natural selection that can go on then if there's some weaker fish and then there are some sort of predator fish in the water that they're probably going to go, I'm going to pick you off. Whereas if you just have 15 or 16 ember tetras in one tank, I can't see any of them picking one of them off if they're not quite up to standard. And Craig Broderick said, and Bodgy has a half-filled tank as well. He likes to keep his levels down a bit, so to avoid fish jumping out. I should take some notice with my marine issues that I've had of late. Thirsty Rabbit, enjoying the stream, but I've got to go. I'll watch the replay in full tomorrow. Thank you, Thirsty. Good to have you here. And yes, definitely stay safe. So you had this crazy tank over there. When did all the new life stuff come about? So I don't actually know this full story. You've alluded to it a bit, but did you start something over there with the family, or did you move back to Australia and then go, this is what we're going to do? We've got the connections, or...
So I moved back to Australia back in 2008. I was just like a uni student, trying to study, trying to know what I'm trying to do in the future. But and I worked for a couple aquarium shops, just trying to get staff price to buy stuff cheaper. So, and there's one day I wandered around and I'll just start working for New Life. So, in the Asian culture, everybody's your uncle or your auntie, and then especially we have the same family name. They just literally just took me in as a family member. So every single time we're having dinners, having everything, they just treat me as one of them. And after a couple of years working for New Life, it was like, I like you, Jeffrey, and as I like you, do you want to open a shop on this New Life's name? And I'll help you out. And I was like, cool. That's how I started my own shop.
That's pretty cool. So it's not a blood relation. It's just you've fallen back into it by staying in the hobby and staying in the industry. So you came back to Australia on your own. You didn't come back with family to study.
Sad story is like I actually came back to look after my grandparents at the start. That's the deal, but they're still in South Australia. RIP to my grandpa. But long story short, it didn't work out, so I have to go to Melbourne. Then pretty much going back and forth look after my grandpa back in the days. Yeah.
No, fair enough. So you came back to help the family and then also studied and then worked in fish stores to get money off fish. Speaking of money, Perth Cichlids, welcome. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. G'day, fish tankers. If anyone is not subscribed to Jace over at Perth Cichlids, he's like very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So please search Perth Cichlids and jump over and just help get him over the line as well. Sorry, I had to acknowledge that. And Zane, welcome. Hope you're well. The reef tank's looking good. It's looking good because you can't see it. You're not too close to it. That's why. All right. So you decided, which shops were you working in? Do I know them?
Abbotsford New Life.
That's right. I think you've mentioned that before. Yep. Is that still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
I need to go there. I need to check
Yeah,
out
you
where it all.
have to, mate. It's pretty much like it might not be your typical Aussie fish shops. But walk in there, you'd be like, yeah, that's how like most of the Asian fish shops looks like in Hong Kong or like in Asia.
Okay.
But busy. It's busy. Got some really nice fish and it's busy.
What are they specializing? Because when I walk into like a very Asian sort of fish store, usually goldfish are like a real one. I'm like, all right, goldfish is something big here, and sometimes discus.
Oh, goldfish and discus is our big thing. So New Life, we do import a lot of like goldfish and discuses, and our pistols. We're huge in like our pistols and stuff. What else? Actually, we do everything. It's just because they even do like cats and dogs, rabbits, birds products as well. But
Okay, so it's
fish,
like a proper pet store.
yeah, but like mainly fish, but like a lot of different fish, even marine corals and all that.
I have to check it out for sure. So, all right, now they've just gone, hey, Boaz, I like the cut of your jib. Let's open a store. Was it always Mitchum? Was that always the plan, and that sort of just is how they were looking at it, or was that your doing, or what was it?
No, that's they actually gave me like a lot of freedom to pick a location, pick the style of the shop. They just said like, yeah, if you want to open a shop, we'll help you out. I was like, cool. Then I start like start discussing with my family, trying to figure out like what should I do, how should I like, get it funded and all that and properly. So it still took me a year and a half to get it all planned out and stuff to start a shop. Yeah, but because back then I live in Ringwood, so I was like, hey, I reckon Mitcham might be a good location, and there's no fish shop in Mitcham, so yeah.
There's no fish shop in Ringwood either.
Yeah, there's no fish shop. Yeah, that's right. I mean, but Ringwood's rent was a bit too high back in when I started. Even now, it's really high.
Ringwood's tricky, and you might attest to this as well. I've grown up out like in the Dandenongs and out Lilydale sort of area, and sort of looked maybe 20 years ago, sort of looked at Box Hill's getting bigger, and now it's getting a lot bigger, and then Ringwood would be the next one, and then like Lilydale or something, or Churns. Well, not really Churnside, be Lilydale, but Ringwood will then grow. But the problem is there's no, like, if you want to go to a shop on the main street of Ringwood, have fun parking. So you've got to go into the big shopping centres, don't you? Whereas Mitchell like that, except you got to move your car every hour.
Yep, that's the sad part. But I mean, because I remember I was starting this shop, I did look at a few spots in Ringwood. Then I bumped into a shop owner, just a small coffee shop owner, another Asian bloke. And I was like, mate, how often do you get like robbed? So they're like, quite often. And so I was like, nah. Well, yeah, you're too close to the station. You got like a lot of like people like cool break-ins and stuff. And I was like, nah, okay, maybe not Ringwood.
Yeah. It's always either the end of the line or the adjoining sort of lines, I suppose. It makes it easier for a getaway.
Yep.
Just have to say hello to Max. How are you? I thought there was someone else in here that I missed. Blake was saying he wants to try a pistos next. Blake Howden, that is. Blake's Aquatics has bred a few pistos, which I've got a couple of them that I am growing up to adulthood, which has been a lot of fun. Max, I just got a whole bunch of aquarium stuff from my uncle. Tanks, filters. It's like Christmas. Congratulations. That's good. Maddie D, don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Yeah, do that. It always helps. Thank you very much. All right, so you've chosen the location. You've got all the stuff together to do this. And then how did you go about it? Because we'll get into this very shortly, everyone, but there is something different about Boaz's aquarium to pretty much, well, a lot of aquariums in Melbourne that I have been to. But what was the plan? How did you sort of attack it?
So
Did
at
you
the
want to
start,
be a point of difference? You actually mentioned before very Asian aquariums versus your out sort of Aussie aquariums.
yeah,
Did you
we
combine
use
them or
chopsticks to catch fishes.
what was that?
We use chopsticks to catch fishes.
That's quite impressive. You should see it. I'll film it one day.
Oh, mate. No, when I started, I don't know. Pretty much when I started, I'm just planning to just do a fish shop. I mean, I'll always do aquascape and all that, but I'm like, maybe I'll do a bit of aquascape because aquascape wasn't big in Australia at that stage, and Adrian, the still the highest ranking of the Australian scapers, Adrian, had a shop, and
Hang on. You're talking about this as Jagdeep Singh walks into the room. How are you, Jagdeep?
Hi, Jag.
and now you're like, oh, well, he's one of the top. No, carry on. So I just thought it was funny. We started talking about it as Jag walks in.
Yep. And then Doug and Adrian have a shop, and then it's tough. He's trying to like promote aquascaping, and there's not much going on. And so I was like, cool, I'll do more fish stuff, and then maybe slowly introduce more like aquascape stuff. Especially there's not that many aquascaping thing going on back in like 5 years time. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's sort of that thing. I think so. My father, who's here, Bendigo Balaclava, I would have been about 8 years old, and Dad told me about all the fish that he kept, and then I said, "Well, all right, I want some." So I ended up getting some white cloud minnows, and we used to go to a farm, which probably closed down before you moved over. There was a farm in Seville. It was just a dude's house. And you go to his house. Obviously, he's on a big property. Sort of think like, it's not really king of DIY, but he had like two big, I think it was 2 sheds, decent sized sheds, and he had concrete ponds. So he had all his cold water goldfish stuff out in the ponds and all the fish out there. So we used to buy from there a lot. And then some of the other aquariums have really good selections of fish and stuff. But the whole aquascaping thing, if it was there, it seemed unobtainable. Like it seemed like, yeah, but that's special. They've had someone come in and do that. And now it's like just, you think things like YouTube, and then places like your store, places like Jag's place up in Sydney are there to then inspire and then go, that's what I'm going to try and do. That's what I'm going to try and create. And for everyone else here, that is one of the reasons that I approached Boaz and said, I want to learn more about aquascaping. Can you help me? Can you teach me? And Boaz is really kind and open to the whole idea of putting the whole thing onto the Aquamate channel so we can share it with everybody as well. So that is one thing that really strikes me about your shop. And it is really interesting to know that was something from day one that is now carried on. It's just evolved, I would say, from seeing your old shop to the new shop. What are some of the things you sort of learned? So how long you just needed more room? That's the only reason you moved, isn't it?
Nah, so through that 5 years I have a shop. Oh mate, you're laughing. So it was actually doing quite well at the start when we were doing like a bit of everything. But then the ceiling started to fall off, man. I actually have a legal fight with the landlord for like 13 months. So the shop was actually closed for 13 months. And then we have another two months to just get the shop like back to running again. Yeah, it was just tough. That 15 months was tough. I'm pretty much, you can't do much. You're just sitting at home waiting for you for the other party to reply you, and they said no, it's not their fault. Okay, that's it for the day, and then you wait for another email and all that, just going back and forth, and you wait for mediation. You wait for the court day and all that, and it just bad. Yeah,
Just a nightmare, it sounds like.
yeah. And then
Shelby, welcome. Perth Cichlids, $5 super chat again. Thanks. Sanitizer. You telling us Melburnians that we just need to get that into our heads?
right.
And Zane, yeah, I think he did have Murray cod, and I think he had some birds as well in an aviary, if that sort of helps spark your memory. But yeah, sorry. You've had to move because of those issues. So what did you change though when you went to the new shop? You didn't go in and just replicate it.
So lucky enough, when I move, I have a new business partner. That he used to be a designer and owns other different sorts of business, and he was like, let's do a different approach. Try to concentrate on like more aquascaping stuff. Trying to like really build our own brand and stuff, and that's why there's Studio H2O, and then we try to make sure that we have like a better showcase area with all like the displays and stuff, and we try to minimize our livestock, and just to fit like the ones that will fit in the planted tank, just to help customer out. Hi, little Josh.
What's that? Tell us about so you tried to set it up. You went for a real modern sort of thing. So what were the sorry, what were some of the things that you did to make it more modern? Tell the guys. I'll be back in 1 sec. I'll just make sure he's all sorted.
Went to my shop, and we kind of like try to make it look more showroom like. We put a lot of artificial plants on the wall, a bit of metal corefoot to try to blend in like different textures. Put in a bit more spotlight so it looks a bit more modern, professional. And then we got Evolution Aqua fish tanks, just trying to like make it look mint and professional.
No, and it definitely looks cool. It feels so for anyone that hasn't been there, it sort of feels a little bit like a cafe, sort of real modern, sort of upmarket, and then to have like, I think people that own a cafe would walk into this shop going, we need an aquascape tank in our cafe. Like, how chill does this make it feel? How bringing nature inside. It's definitely got that really, really cool vibe. And that's one of the reasons I was saying a bit earlier that it's different. It's not the same as a lot of aquariums. A lot of aquariums do have some really cool aquascapes and stuff, and they're getting more into it. And I know, speaking to other aquariums, they are doing, trying to have more aquascapes done. And as a YouTuber, I see it as a real opportunity for people like Blake's Aquatics, myself, Max, if you keep filming more things, Bodgy in Melbourne in particular, that if you sort of rotate those scapes through, there's something new for your customers, and there's sort of new opportunities to learn how to do them. You can have classes, because I know that was something that you were thinking about doing, and you sort of got that set up, and we got to utilize it for that whole series, which is, again, something that you wouldn't sort of find in your normal aquarium at the moment. Just quickly, Blake's Aquatics, $5 towards the next mystery box. Appreciate it. While you're all here, Boaz has created a $100 mystery box. How many have you sold now? You can put some mayo on.
Just three so far. Yeah,
3. Well, you kind of capped it out at like 30 or something, so we're 10% of the way. But yeah, I got one, and I did a video on it last Tuesday. So if you haven't seen the video, check it out, because it's definitely well worth it as far as value. But it's a really cool thing, I think, and something fun that we talked about, that over this 6-week sort of lockdown, if you can have your fish keeping fix and get some cool new plants and fish and shrimp and some goodies to play with. I've got the Amano shrimp right in front of me, and I got the white clouds are out in the community tank. But that was good fun. So thanks, Blake. I'll put that aside for the next one. Jagdeep, I would say you guys should do a video on shop tour and how you structured it, and the cafe and aquascaping go together. Definitely. We did do one very early days. I did one with Jeff. You went there, spoke with him, had a lot of fun with that. And actually, someone I'd never met before told me they watched that video. They know me from that video because they like your store. So that was really cool today as well. So now you're doing lots of aquascaping. So obviously you got lots of plants, got lots of equipment to help. What fish do we find when we come into your shop?
Of course, you find a lot of different tetras and small fish that will fit in an aquascape. But my favorite fish is going to be the Australian rainbows and like the New Guinea rainbows. Took me a while to find like different breeders and different people that know where to find them. Because I still remember when I got into this industry in Australia, I was like, okay, where's Australian rainbows? I thought like rainbows are from Australia, and there's Bosmanis and there's Bosmanis and Bosmanis. That's all. I can't find all the other rainbows, and I was like, cool. When I have a shop, that was like before I have a shop. I was like, if I have a shop, I will. And took me a while to find the breeders. Took me a long while to find the breeders. And tops we might have like 30 types, 38 types from memory of rainbows in the shop. Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's so cool because that was one thing that was not around when I was younger, and also when there was no internet. It was not easy to talk about. I'm sure people in the industry knew about them, but they might have given it a go early days and not sold many, so then they don't get them back in again, and then there was no demand. But when learning about Australian native fish and the rainbows and pseudomogals, and then also the New Guinea, because basically our neighbor, that some of those fish are absolutely stunning, and we're going, I just thought you could get tetras and live bearers, well, and some cichlids, but they are amazing amazing fish. Dad has learned how to do super chats. I'm gonna have to jump on and see. I can't see what that one is where I am sitting, so give me a second. I have to see what the sticker is and say thank you, Dad. And I'm starting to think that Jace's son Parker is just playing with his credit card at the moment, because there's another super sticker from Jace as well. Oh, I'm gonna mute that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Laz, how you doing? Hope you're well. Yes, back to the rainbow. So you've got one of the largest collections or selections.
I hope I have one of the largest. I hope I have one of the largest. I mean, I did spend a lot of time trying to get at them.
Yes, well, that's it. And I think, well, you know what? Actually, let us know in the chat, because Boaz and I have a bit of fun together. I think you're gonna probably be a part of the Aquamate channel for a long time to come. Every now and then we'll catch up and we'll do some stuff together. But maybe there'd be a bit of a series on some of the rainbows that you've got there, where they're from, what the differences are, because it's one of those things with rainbows. When you've got a few dominant fish, they really show you what they are. When you don't have the dominant fish, they can look very similar to another species. So what are the pros and cons of different species? Maybe I could just ask the Angfa president to join the channel and do a short thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Fish. Yeah. So he can promote the club and the fish society. Yeah,
absolutely. That would be fantastic. So What else is going on? We've spoken about the shop. We've spoken about sort of the background. What are the other bits and pieces that you do with the hobby? I know the answers, but I'll drag them out of you if I'll say them. If you don't. But you tell us a little bit more about some other things you do with the hobby.
I used to breed a lot of shrimps. I still breed shrimps. I got a shrimp pond.
Yep.
I do a bit of terrariums, do a bit of everything. Anything scape related, I do. And of course, shrimps. You have to have shrimps in your scape. They clean your algae and they try to they're good. They're great. Pretty much. Do you know something I don't know?
Apparently I do.
Yep.
I'm going to hang it over your head for a few minutes. Jace, another super chat. Aquarium Cop, another super sticker. Thank you. It's just raining. Maybe Parker's gone and got Aquarium Cop's wallet as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Sheps Aquatics, welcome. Good to see you. Sheps Aquatics does live streams basically this time on Mondays every night. So I always click on, then I run out and I cook dinner and I come back and I just try and be a part of it at stages. Your daddy's going live Facebook tonight playing some music in 15 minutes. Oh, well, so let us know the link. Send me the email, Laz, and we can have a little bit of a look at it after we finish up here. We'll probably go for another half an hour or so here as well. You guys are making me blush. All right. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. What I was going to talk about. So now what shrimp do you breed in the tub, and what's the benefits of breeding fish in a pond or a tub environment?
We have more water volume. Of course, it's much more like stabler and all that, so you don't have to worry about too much about like spikes and stuff. And the big plastic stuff is cheap. It's very cheap.
Do you think they feel more secure having, not a glass box around? They can't see outside.
Yeah, of course. I mean, fish do get used to people like walking around or like those shadow like flashing in front of them. But like with that, with a pond and all that, it's all covered. Of course, they're less stressed, so they can concentrate on doing their things.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say what type they were? I'm getting distracted. There's all these blue things popping up in my face, more from parasticklers and Aquarium Cop. They're just laughing at us, but having a good time. And I appreciate it. Sorry, but yeah, are they cherries or crystals?
They're crystal reds. So yeah. I got a 1,200 litre pond breeding crystal reds. And I'm not even dechlorinating the water.
Did you say 1,200 litre?
Yeah.
Or 200 litre?
1,200 litres.
Just for crystal reds?
Just for crystal reds.
That's insane. I need to come and visit.
Yeah.
We lost you for a bit then, but just no, you can't justify a 1,200 litre shrimp pond. That's fantastic. I definitely want to check that out someday. Perth Sticklers again. Blake, who's opening the mosh pit? We'll let Laz answer that one. Boaz is just messing with us now. Yeah, it feels that way. Now, you're part of a group, is what I was getting at before, like a very well-renowned group.
Really a big, huge honor. Like, I'm the only unranked guy in there, and all those guys in that Life Aqua Ambassador group is just like huge names. Like, yeah, huge names. And Andy Tam, which is the boss of Life Aqua, was in Australia, and then he saw me scapes and he liked it, and then I'm in the group. But I was like really honored because like you got You got like Fukada, you got like Masashi Ono, you got like all those big names in there. Like, yeah.
I know. I'm trying to bring up this group for everybody to see, and I just can't figure out where I would have saved it. It's going to be some weird random picture, isn't it? Because you sent it to me, so it's not going to have a. Yes, it's something you've got a framed picture of it at
Yep.
At the shop there, and it is something to be very proud of.
Yeah, I mean, wow. So when I'm like when I have my grandkids, I can show I'm one of them back in the days.
Here it is. I found it. I'll share it with you all in 1 second once it opens. Computer's being a little bit slow. Okay, so back here.
Someone asked me how do you heat a pond in Melbourne?
How do you heat a 1,200 litre pond in Melbourne? Good question.
I actually have it indoors, so it's like those big plastic ponds you can buy from Bunnings, and I just use a 1,500 watt heater to heat it, and I have like styrofoam boxes like all break into like different panels and paces, and I just stick it on like the outside of the pond, so it kind of insulates it. Yeah.
Well, and it's outside, is it, or is it inside?
It's inside. It's inside. Outside's too hard. Outside, not because of the weather. The shrimp can survive in the cold. Crystal reds are originally from Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong. But they can handle the cold. But if there's like any like insects or like even like dragonflies, larvae in the water, they're all gone. They're going to be dead.
There you go. There's the picture of the Life Aquascaper ambassadors. So the most famous one that I know of is Fukada, which is, can you see my mouse over here? He's over here from Japan. But the man we're speaking with, you're first on the list.
Yeah, because of Australia, mate. Australia.
Oh, is it? Okay, I was like, it's not alphabetical either, but it's alphabetical from country.
No, that makes me really like, wow, mate. When I saw the list, I was like, damn, you got like me first. I was really shy. The only unranked guy in the group, and he's like first, mate. I was like, oh.
That's absolutely awesome. And really, really happy for you. And it's been awesome that you've been able to take a bit of time and help me, and also sort of share that on the channel with everybody too. So it's been an honor to work with you on that as well. So congratulations. Yeah, I think you deserve it. My dad's saying that my stepbrother, his stepson, makes the ponds for Bunnings. Does he make the ponds? I thought he made the rainwater tanks. But
they have big black tubs. Yeah, you just dig a hole in, and you got like normally you just shove it in the hole, and then you have a pond. Yeah.
There we go. So he makes both as well. You cut out a little bit there, but I think yes, you were saying it. You can simply make it that way. Aquarium got with the $3 super chat. $3.
And US as well.
US, that's probably $12 over here now. There's a bidding war. Person has gone $1.04. All right. So, is there anything coming up that we can share with people, or that they can look out for? Probably be me that will be able to share it with them, but that you're working on at the moment, or have been working on, but we haven't been able to see yet?
I reckon the 6 foot. The 6 foot is the one that it was actually original for like this year's IMPLC competition, but because of COVID, I then got my plants, got my all the other stuff like ready in time, so it's delayed. I might just enter that for a different composition, but like, yeah, I reckon that one's. I love that one. I got some. I reckon
I'll just let you go for a few seconds because you seem to come back, but you went out right at the end. You said you liked that one, and then
Yep. The 6 foot.
yes. Are you? So how can we see that eventually? What's the plan with it? Or we're not
I reckon.
talking about that.
I reckon what maybe if we're back to like stage 3 lockdown. Maybe you can come over and do a video of that one.
Yeah, don't we have to wait for something, an event? That's right. I'll talk to Boaz about that one later. But there is definitely something that we will eventually. We just might have to wait a little bit longer than hope or would like to, but because of some things that are going on with what Boaz has been working on. But there is something really cool that I need to show all of you, and I think you'll all love it. And it's sort of, I look at that tank and I just think I just want to do a cinematic on that. I want to spend a lot of time trying to get that to the video to look just as good as the tank does. And to have that freedom and flexibility to be able to work with you like that, just spend an hour just getting different angles and different shots and different things. It'll be, I can't wait to do it. Good to see more aquascaping focus shops and levels improving. Want to see more guys hit international the aquascaping scene. Well, yeah, I suppose that's exactly what Boaz has done here, and it's really cool. And I'm really lucky to be working with the aquarium aquarium co-op with $1.08 per cichlid raises you $1.09. I'll sit here all night. I want to go to work tomorrow. God. All right. So there was something else you and I spoke about. Oh, what was it? Sorry, an extension of Boaz and me having a chat was, and doing that series was meeting a friend of yours, Alvin yep. Kong, who has actually studied with a friend of mine as well. So, wow. Sort of small world. But Alvin came in and did a mossarium, or mossarium to pronounce it maybe better. And that was a lot of fun. We got to do that in the same studio that we were doing the aquascape. Oh, that's what we needed to talk about. That was a lot of fun, and I would like to do another one with Alvin, but I'd like to pay him for one of them and then do one more video with him and then take it home and not leave it behind, because that was the only regret I had about doing that video. I was like, I really want that. Oh, Clint's joined the bidding war at $1.10. Cop has raised another 59 cents, $1.69. Parker's checking Jason's bank balance now. Oh God, you guys you're very funny. But yes, that was something very cool. So how do you know Alvin, and what is the whole terrarium mossarium thing? So how's that come about? Is it just similar to aquascaping?
That is pretty similar to aquascaping. I reckon most of the aquascaping skill is originated from doing bonsais and stuff.
Yeah,
similar. And now we've got all terrarium stuff, which is pretty much how I see it is something like a diorama bonsai without the bonsai tree in a glass jar.
Yes, it's almost like a cross between the two, isn't it? It's a mini-scape, so it's like an aquascape, but then it's not aqua, so then it's like a bonsai in another way.
Yep. And meeting Alvin, he's actually a customer at the start, but he really wants to learn about like aquascaping and the whole thing. So it just clicked. So he constantly have like different questions to ask, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I'll teach you how to do it properly.
That's cool. I like that too. Like you sort of you seem to gravitate to people with that similar interest, and then really pay attention and actually create something rather than just talking about it as well. And I think that comes across really well. And obviously,
I mean, this they're having a bid war.
I know Clint's gone $2. Perth's gone, I'll raise you another cent, and then Aquarium Cop's like, nah, I'm out. I'm tapping out. But then he just goes in again as well. And also, Ex Nevada, how are you? Welcome. Haven't seen your name here before. Thank you very much for joining us. $2.03. You guys are throwing me. I'm like, usually at this stage,
you don't have to go to work tomorrow, mate.
Oh no. Oh, work has been very weird at the moment. But now, can I show people this? What are we bidding? Blake's jumped in first.
You're gonna do a pole dance soon.
Looks like I'm going to be ordering another mystery box.
Oh my! Whoa!
Whoa! Ryan's just jumped in. Perth's just put. This is crazy, you guys. I can't keep up with him saying thank you to everybody. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Perth. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. Thank you, Ryan. I'm going to try and find a photo here on Clint tapping out here. Thank you, Clint. I appreciate it. Blake. I just don't know what to say. Thank you, Blake Howden. Appreciate it.
Call your boss. Day off tomorrow.
God. Well, YouTube will take some of this money, so it'll end up I'll end up having to go to work anyway. But I appreciate it, guys. A lot of fun and a lot of support is awesome. This is a super chat. Thanks, Fisher. Let me find this photo. I want to find a photo of what was the aim of the aquascaping series with the design that you sort of decided on. Yep. We decided on a smaller tank because it was more common. So why did you go the path of what you designed? And I'll find the photo of it so that we can share it to everybody and see where we ended up, because we're going to do a video on this soon. It'll be completely updated and yeah, hopefully it'll be sort of matured, I suppose is the right word.
Yep. I mean, when we picked that, I was trying to again promote the hobby. 45 centimeter, it's much easier to I mean, you need like crazy amount of like materials, you don't need crazy amount of plants, and it's kind of like a bit more friendlier to the pocket. And so the tank we did is pretty much like a low tech tank with no CO2 added, and we are just using a Halon back filter. It's just trying to make it like friendlier to people that really want to have a go at the hobby. And I mean, we glued some driftwood. That is a skill that a lot of people that always like trying to, how do you glue those driftwood or rocks together? And yeah, and I think it's important for like a society, a hobby, to share like insider secrets or like how it works. If not, no one's gonna join or no one's gonna learn. Everybody have to walk a like really lonely road to try to like learn the skills and all that. Not that many people have time to do that, right? Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. What I'll do, I really shouldn't do this because it won't work as well as it should. But I will share. Oh, hang on, Boaz stream. I've got to save this over here. I'll share the screen of the last episode. Oh.
Yep.
I've got us on behind me right now because the series has finished. But there's 5 episodes creating is it 40-liter tank?
Yeah, roughly around that. Yep.
Oh, I do need you to send me if I do this, that's not going to work either. Can you please send me the dimensions of the tank?
Give me a second. Oh, I kind of forget how. What's the dimension as well?
This next.
Cool.
Tank. All right, I'll be able to flash it up properly for everybody in a few seconds. I just had to change some things around. It was just going to not look proper. I've missed Aquarium Cop and Perth Cichlids, some more super chats and stickers. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Your dad's live streaming. We'll remember Laz when we decide to wrap it up, have an after party. Drinks are on me with all these super chats. Or should I say they're on you guys?
Oh, I got the size 45, 27, 30.
Did someone mute Craig? What happened? Am I missing something? Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you joining us. Now, downloads. Open. All right. Sorry, guys. At the start of the stream, if you missed it, I updated StreamYard because I realized I can add a few more things that I really wanted to play with. And I thought tonight was a good time to try it out. And we can't talk while this is on the screen, but we can just sort of show you. But basically what Boaz and I were doing, we wanted to try and create not the world's greatest nano aquascape, but something that's going to teach people a few tips and tricks on how to make it look a little bit more professional, a little bit better, a little bit more natural, how to hold it together, as you were saying before, with the glue and that sort of thing. So we chose a 40-liter tank. We chose a small tank that you can easily sort of set up anywhere, that you're not going to spend, how much is the tank worth?
85? It's a Starfire tank. If you get a normal tank, it will be like 40.
Yeah, yep. You probably get something similar like Kmart wise for $50 for a whole bunch of this stuff. But obviously, we use some good products here. The light, yes, the light is very expensive, but it was cool to work with that light anyway. I think the plan is that I'll be taking this one off Boaz's hands at some stage, and I'll set it up with another light here, and it will be something that we can feature on the channel for a long time. But just watch this little clip. This is what we created in basically, 5 episodes, 5 10-minute episodes. Can you hear us? Because apparently I can talk.
Yep.
Well, that's good. We can talk over it. It'll only go for the 20 seconds or so. All right, because you can hear us, I'll speak over it. But you can see, so Boaz has glued this wood together. So there's like 4 or 5 pieces of wood there. It's not just one bit of wood. And then what are the ferns that we've got in there?
Mini Java fern.
So we've got the mini Java fern, the Cypress Alfury at the back. I'll just keep shoving it up there while we're talking about it. And we've got the Monte Carlo, or my Cranthemium Tweedii in the front. And is it Serious Stone?
They call it the Lohan Stone. I think it's some places call it the Frodo Stone. Yeah, just for like some details. But I actually added some moss on. Some of the mini
Yeah.
Taiwan moss. Yep.
On the wood or on the stones?
On the wood.
All right. So keep in mind, this is basically, I think I came back a week after we sort of did that one. It's now been, what, 5 or 6 weeks?
Yep.
So probably, I like how so far, you tell me if I'm wrong here, but so far creating sort of carpeted tanks and that sort of thing, I see lots of review videos on YouTube about, hey, it'll only take 6 to 8 weeks. You can set something up like this. I'm going to call BS. I reckon it takes a lot longer, but you just got to maintain, keep the ship pointed forward, stay patient, and you'll end up getting to your end goal. But that's one thing we can we can update later. I'll do another one feature. We'll put it into the Aquascaping with Boaz series, and it will be really cool to see that tank with some fish. I've heard a little whisper that you've added some fish.
Yes, there's some fish in there and some shrimp in there now.
Fish and shrimp. Don't tell us what they are, because that'll be really exciting to see. But yeah, all right. So people were saying, yes, we can hear you. That's awesome. The other ones, maybe because there's no audio. That's probably why it was all good. Aquamate, email me. I'd love a sticker trade. Absolutely, cop. I will. Have I got your email? Otherwise, send me an email at aquamate6@gmail.com. I'll write it in there for you to make it nice and easy to copy and paste. But definitely, we'll do that. Boaz, yes, we can ship. Where are we shipping? Oh, can you ship plants from HO? Yeah. So Shep is country New South Wales. Is that right, Shep? I know you're New South Wales. Not sure if I would say it's classified as country, though. What type of moss, Max S was asking?
Mini Taiwan moss.
Mini
Taiwan. Yes.
Yeah, I know someone who scored that recently, too.
You got some?
It's doing well. It's doing well. I need Aquamate stickers as well. I sold the tank it was on. Need a Blake's Aquatics one too. I need Aquamate stickers too. I've got one, I think. So I'm going to get some printed and delivered. I'll get them sent over to me soon so we can use that. I'll order plants also, just starting a tank. There you go. So Chevy's interested. So can we get a link? What's the best way to contact you for plants?
To our Facebook page, actually. So send us a message to the Facebook page, and then we'll help you out from there.
All right. Let me find. Let me find the H2O Facebook page. I do have to laugh, not in an evil way, but I appreciate your comment, Blake. He said, we are banned from doing live streams while he does water changes because he's now overflowed 2 tanks while listening to us.
Oh, mate.
All right. There's a link. So, guys, I'll chuck this in here for you now. I'm really bad with links, so I didn't put a title on it, but that's your link to get to Boaz's shop on Facebook. I feel like putting this up here, Blake, and that can be like a glowing endorsement for it was a good stream. Drop link to get a shirt. What link to get it? What shirt? Not a proper water change day without one overflow. It's pretty funny. The first time I was ever on a YouTube chat with some people, we call it the Fish Fam. So there's people all over America, Europe, predominantly Americans, and obviously down under, that all do the same sort of things, and we sort of support each other a lot. When I was just starting out the channel, I jumped onto a live stream with, I think one guy was in New York, one guy was in Florida, and the other one was in he barracks for a team that's not as good as San Francisco. I can't remember. But anyway, and because it was the first time I was ever like talking to these people, I'm like, oh, I just lost track of time. That's the only time I have flooded a tank while doing water changes. Not a good idea to get distracted. I think I'm too scared of getting distracted. That's the problem.
Oh, mate, it actually happened a few times in the shop already. Especially, it's not a concrete floor; it's just like wooden floorboards and all that. Mate, oh,
That's a
flooded
good.
the 6 foot tank. The whole front was flooded. Oh, mate, cleaning that was fun.
What's the worst? Like, get up, have some brekkie, have a shower, go into the shop for some work, open the door, and you go, what's the worst thing that's happened when you've opened up in the morning?
The ceiling blowing off.
Hmm?
The ceiling's off, like back in the old joint. The whole ceiling's like, oh shit. Yeah, mate. That was the biggest one. If not, the second one is like still remember like at the old joint. While setting up, we're filling some tanks and ponds, and it's just taking too long. And then we're just like, mate, might as well just like go and grab some food and come back. And then when we're back, the whole shop was just flooded. Because the hose just popped it, so it's not actually filling the pond. It's just, everywhere.
Just off on the, No, that wouldn't be fun. I'm trying to remember who it was. Yeah, the fish room. He's a New Zealand fish tuber. He was telling me a story as well about how what did they do? They left the water change on overnight. It didn't overflow, but it basically didn't contaminate the water, but like 100% water change, like 10 times overnight, the temperature dropped and killed all of his fish in his shop. And it was an employee that did it, and he walked back in and went, oh. So I can imagine that would be pretty painful. Fisher, can I order online? Fisher, where are you located? I'm not sure where you are, but yes, you can order through the. Do you have a website that you can just click on and order like a shop?
It's still under construction.
Who's doing that? Or
I am.
You are.
Yeah, so pretty much sleepless nights. I'm just like trying to finish a website. Hopefully in a week or two time, then we'll launch it. I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, let me know if you need a hand with it, because I do. There's one guy I speak to in America. He sells his own fish and plants, and he's created a shop online. And he sends me the links to sort of test it a fair bit and see how well it's working. And Shep's Aquatics has just done the same sort of thing, and they seem like, it's obviously going to take a bit of time and effort, but it might be something that might help you. And yes, Shep is the one that we're talking about out in Cowra. That's right, near Bathurst. So I was right. Aqua, drop your bloke's channel link. I can't find him. Do you have a channel, Boaz?
I don't.
No channel for Boaz. He's just on this one. So if you want more Boaz, you got to watch more Aqua,
Yeah.
Gembrook. Really, Fisher? I was living in Menzies Creek for a while. Well, Fisher, after the lockdown, you can go and visit Boaz in Mitcham, right near the subway and the Domino's at Mitcham on Whitehorse Road. Or is it Maroondah Highway?
Whitehorse Road.
Perfect. Boss needs to start a channel. Well, you're getting a bit of a...
Oh, mate. I want to, but it just, mate, I don't have enough time.
Who has enough time?
Oh, mate.
I can hear Harry giving my wife grief right now. I should be in there being a good dad and putting him to bed, but I'm here talking to you.
Right. My second one's coming as well, so another month I will have a daughter. So I was like, time. I don't have enough time.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that if Fisher can't drive down there, so just PM you for anything at the moment until that website's up, and hopefully we can hook some of the local hobbyists up with some awesome plants. You just ship plants, not fish.
Don't like to fish, especially they do kind of like stress a lot, like during shipping. Sometimes they might arrive alive, but once you put in a tank, if you don't know how to like climb them properly or look after them properly, they might just drop dead overnight. Not a big fan of that.
No, I know. It's a hard one with DOAs because, if it happens, it's not always anyone's fault in particular. And then how do you get around it? And then if you're shipping twice to try and make up for it, you're not making any money. But
yeah. And I mean, because we like New Life or even my uncles in Hong Kong, we rarely do that. It's kind of more like a Aussie thing and a America thing. I know they have a lot of online fish shops, but it's just I just found it risky to send livestock. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fair enough. We'll wrap up in a couple minutes. While we've got 23 people here that may have missed the start, and because I worked hard on this and I freaking love it, just this little clip I think gives you a bit of insight into some of the things that Boaz does. I'm going to do the intro for the thing again. I'll ask you a question about one of the tanks. If there's anything you want to share with us before we head off, or before you start your day or night or whatever, because you've been sleeping, we'll do so. But everyone enjoy this. This only goes for about 50 seconds, this clip. But the scapes that we are looking at, that part of them are from Boaz's shop and part of them are scapes that he has done himself in the past. So it's not just some random footage. This is actually what the man himself has done. So enjoy this 50-second clip. There you go. The one that I wanted to ask you about. Okay, there's two I wanted to ask you about.
Yep.
One of them was the big Monte Carlo sort of carpet. I don't have the picture handy at the second.
Yep.
That one there, is that the one that was in front of the register, the desk at the old shop?
Yep, that's the one.
There's a very old video I did.
Yeah, the first video, pretty much when you started the channel, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's called Harry and the Ghost Knife. So we took Harry down to the shop to buy his first fish, and he wanted a ghost knife. That was a really cool video, but I decided to pick up a couple shrimp while I was there, and I actually just started interviewing Boaz without really asking. And I was like, how do you make a carpet like this? And you're like, it's pretty easy. And now I've probably made 3 tanks the same way that you did that. So I just wanted to know, is that the tank? Because that was sort of an inspiration for me to try and go, all right, if he says it's easy, I'm going to give this a shot. And it's worked. Here's a quick question here. Per Cichlids, what's a good substrate for a beginner to use for plants?
Actually, you can try to use gravel or just go straight to ADA. It's actually a lot of people say ADA is not suitable for like beginners, but I don't think so. You just use ADA and you just do the right steps and that's it.
Yeah, I'm having some weird issues with the Amazonia light. The Amazonia. No, sorry, I've fluval stratum over here. Zero issue. Few issues with the other one, but
Yep.
there's a tank back there. I am going to completely change. It's going to be something different, and I think I'm not going to go with. Oh, just give me an idea. What would if I used some aqua soil? So exactly what you're suggesting to Perth. And then had another substrate on top of it, but use that to be able to plant. So
Yep.
I can put a few plants in there, but then I put sand over the top of it. Is that a good idea, or?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, actually, you can do a plant aquarium without soil. I mean, I can use just gravel only. I mean, that's how people used to do them back in the days. But with aqua soil and all these other products, it just makes life much easier. So, of course, ADA soil do have a lot of nutrients. That's why they are hard to use at the start, and it requires you to do more water changes and stuff. But in a sense, it does a better job because like you have more nutrients for the plants. You don't have to use much more root tabs and all that stuff to feed the plants. It lasts much longer as a pellet shade. I mean, yeah, it's an OG. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I think I might try and use some of that technique on this little tank over here that's causing me a few problems, and I don't think it's nothing to do with the tank. I think it's maybe I've overdone it with the soil. There's too much nutrients, and it's just keeps. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it, and I'll put it in a video anyway for everyone else to share. Now the other one. We're both going to disappear off the stage for a second, so have a quick look at this. That tank, the tank they're using as the background. That's probably my favorite of the photos. Like, that's the sort of tank that I'd love to set up in my lounge room. When did you do that? What's the story?
So that was when that's O shop. I really missed that tank. That's a 5x2x2. And wow, I have like maybe 30 plus rainbows in there, and I just missed that tank, mate. Yeah, when I have to move and I have to shut that tank down, I'm just like, oh.
Was that at the shop?
Yeah, the O joint. It's the window tank. Every time when I close up, I still stay in front of the shop and I'll just look at the tank for like another half an hour to an hour.
I can't remember it. That's so annoying. I might
That's
go.
the window one. The window one.
Yeah, well, I would have been like, oh yeah, at the time, but now I look at that photo, I'm like, now I want to look at it again. I might look at the Harry and the Ghost Knife video again and see if it features in there at any stage. Boaz, do you have a plant list?
Shoot me a message on Facebook to the shop, then I'll send you a plant list. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty much, I have most of the stuff. Yeah.
No, perfect. Aquarium Cop, I need a shirt from you, Blake. Hell yeah. Social. Blake has he's got his own like Blake's Aquatic shirts, but he's also got a line of different fish shirts as well. That would be cool if we could get some out to some of the shops, because they're all just like fish memes, and sort of fish related sort of things. But yeah, Perth cichlids. What about fertilizers for a beginner for scaping? I think I'm getting a bit of a vibe here, Jace, that you're going to change a little bit of your fish keeping ways and try an aquascape. Forgive me if you've done it before and I haven't seen it, but
Yeah, fertilizers. I mean, my first go-to choice is definitely Flourish. I mean, it's proven itself for like more than like what 20 years or even longer, and it's everywhere. You just buy it from like normal pet barns, pet shops, and all that. And pretty much, I can tell you any fertilizer works as long as you follow the instruction on the bottle.
absolutely. Jace, I know you're an avid watcher of the channel and appreciate it and forever. I really do love all the stuff that you do for my channel, but I'm not sure if you have seen the aquascaping with Boaz video. That might answer some of those questions for you that could help, because that was sort of what we tried to do, isn't it? We tried to do the beginner tips and tricks and what to do. And if you have any questions at any stage, Jace, you've got me on Messenger. Just send me a message and I'll gladly put you in touch with Boaz or whatever. But I do like it. He's got a whole bunch of tanks. When I met Perth Cichlids, I think he had 120 tanks in his shed breeding cichlids.
Got more tanks than my shop.
Yeah. And yeah, he's just saying he's moved. So he's had to move all these tanks and he's going to do a display row. I'm excited about that. He also did a video where he got one of those. Have you seen those mechanical fish? You switch them on and they look like they're flapping around. And he got his son to help him with the water change and he threw it over and his son's like, Dad, one of the fish. Which was hilarious. It was only a couple of days ago, so you should check it out. And he's wearing one of the best T-shirts I've ever seen in the world, an Aquamate T-shirt. So it was good. All right. Anything you'd like to share with everybody before I let you go? I told you I'd steal you for an hour, and it's almost been an hour and a half.
I mean, if you want to try Aquascape, do it. Feel free to ask questions to my mate here, Josh, and on me. But I'm happy to help.
It's actually a good point. Like, if any of you do have questions for Boaz, it might be good for us to, next time we do something scape related, we've got about 2 or 3 ideas in the pipeworks that we can put together, and then what we could do is I'll try and get all those questions answered for you. And yeah, the Perth video was hysterical. There you go. And then yeah, hopefully it inspires people that haven't tried it to get into aquascaping. And then you'll have the next issue when everything starts growing too much and you get algae and you go, all right, my scape, it's worked, but now it's starting to look dirty. What do I do? Which is where I'm at next. So that could be another video too. But thank you very much for joining us. Leave a comment after the video as well. Let us know what you think of the timing, because next week we're going to be hitting the same time and we're going to have Paul Talbot from Majestic Aquariums, which I'm really excited to catch up with him. I've been doing a little bit of research. He's got a big history in the industry over here, and he has a lot of subscribers on YouTube, and he did things a whole lot differently to how things are done today. So it's a really cool story that I really want to delve into. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to doing that. But today, thank you very much. Thank you everyone that's been here. Thank you everyone that decided to have a super chat bidding war. I really appreciate it. I'll put it towards something cool for the channel so that I can make a video and share it back with you all. Eden Walters, good to see you. There's been a fair few new names, but Boaz, enjoy your evening or night of figuring
Green
out
tea.
Green tea. But thank you
so much. There.
And I can't wait to catch up with you again soon.
Cool, mate.
Thanks, guys.